one of the benefits of being a stay-at-home worker is being able to, let me fix my little jacket, is being able to cook dinner whenever you get hungry. And I'm hungry, so I'm starting dinner. We are going to make a chicken with asparagus with a pan sauce. I thought I would come live, show you all about it, because we are in our fresh and healthy theme right now. So this is our stainless steel nonstick pan that I'm going to be using. We are going to start with some chicken thighs. Let me grab some gloves here. And we are going to season the chicken thighs. I have the old Dijon mustard rub, which I love. It is discontinued, so you can use the bell pepper rub for this recipe. If you look it up online, it uses the bell pepper now. And all we're going to do is we're going to season the chicken thighs. They're boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And we're going to cook them on medium heat in some oil for about 4 minutes or so, I think is what it says. Let me just double check, because the part of this recipe that made all the difference, 4 minutes. And then we flip it over and do it for 1 minute. And they won't be all cooked because this recipe finishes in the oven. So it is going to be undercooked. The key to this recipe to get a really good pan sear is to, when you put them in the pan, don't touch them. Don't pick it up to see if it's cooking, see if it releases from the pan or any of that. You just want to let it do its thing. So we are going to take our chicken, and I'm going to season it. I'm going to season it over this dish here. This is the Pampered Chef new plates that you can purchase, and I earned mine as well. I love them. We used them for Thanksgiving. So we're just going to season this with Dijon mustard rub. I'm going to heavily season it because I really like this rub. I hope they come back. I hope it comes back. So we're in our Fresh and Healthy series, which I needed. I mean, my husband and I have been talking about it for a while. Back about 8 years ago, we both did Whole30, where we eliminated a bunch of foods from our diet for 30 days to reduce inflammation and to give our bodies a kickstart, and to honestly get me off of my sugar addiction. So, and you don't have to do Whole30. My whole series, there's lots of great foods, and not all of them are Whole30, so don't worry about that. But Whole30, if you're interested, you can look it up online. It's basically you eat whole foods for 30 days. So nothing that has a preservative, nothing that has sugar at all. So you have to read every single label. Like, who knew canned tomatoes has sugar in it if you don't buy the right one. Certain spices have sugar in it or have chemicals in it that you can't use. There are no beans, no dairy, no alcohol, no grains. So there's a lot of items that you're going to eliminate. And the point of that is to just reduce the inflammation in your body and to starve out the candidiasis, which is the bacteria, the yeast that grows in our gut. Which feeds off of sugars and, sugar alcohols like carbs, like grains. And we do that for 30 days to just give our body a reset. And then once that's done, then you reintroduce the food and see how you feel, which was super interesting for me because as soon as I reintroduced dairy, I realized I really do not tolerate dairy really well. Like, once it was out of my system, I was like, oh, it felt terrible. So once the pan gets going, I'm going to put in my boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and we're going to cook these 4 minutes. I'm going to set a timer so don't forget. And then we're going to flip them, cook them for 1 minute, then we're going to pull them off. Then we are going to use our cup slicer here, and we are going to slice my mushrooms with this. And I love this cup slicer. I'm going to show you in just a sec. I just want to keep my glove on, my cootie glove, so I don't touch the chicken. What you do with this is you just push it down over your mushrooms, your strawberries, your olives, your grapes, whatever it is that you're trying to cut up. And it's going to, look at that, look at how nice that is. And then you can just literally pour it right out onto, I'm going to get my garlic off here, into your pan. So I'm going to do all of these. And when you get to the end of whatever it is that you are slicing up, so mine is the mushrooms, I'm going to take the base cup of it, and then you push it into the base, and that pushes up whatever is left in the bottom to make it release so that you can just sprinkle it out. Now you can sprinkle this out over a pizza if you're doing black olives and mushrooms or whatever, but fast. You saw how fast it was. I just did a whole 8-ounce thing of mushrooms in seconds. So you want to make sure your pan is hot. Now a lot of us are cooking in stainless steel. Some are cooking in stainless nonstick like this. When you are using stainless, you want to make sure your pan is hot before you put your food on it. There you go. You should be able to hear that sear. And the reason being is if it's not hot, it will not release your food. Things will get stuck to it. And we don't want stuck on food. We want it to be, you know, like an egg or whatever. You want it to release well. All right, so now we can get rid of our chicken cooties here. We'll move this out of the way. Set a timer so I don't forget. Okay, so that's going. Now we're going to cut up our garlic and our onion, and then we're going to also cut our asparagus, and we have little cherry tomatoes. So this recipe comes together really fast. I don't know what time I started, but let's see. I can't tell what time it is. This still has my timer on it. I'm guessing it's close to 5 o'clock. So I'm guessing I can get this whole thing ready and in the oven in less than 15 minutes. So we're all looking for fast, healthy, easy recipes, right? Okay, so for your onion, if you don't remember my little tip from before, I'm going to show you. Hi, Sherry. You're going to use the root end. You're going to keep the root end on your onion. So when you cut it from root to tip. So that when we go to slice our onion, we're going to be slicing into the onion this way, and it's all going to be held together by the root. And then we're going to dice it by going in the opposite direction. So this is what you do. You hold your knife, remember, with your loser fingers, so you don't lose a finger. And you hold it like this, and then you just make little slices in the onion. And then you can see my onion is still all in one piece. How nice is that? Then you just turn it and slice it in the other direction, and now you have diced onions, and it was super easy to do. Tip for all of you, when you get to about this part of the onion, you want to, again, move the onion so that it is flat on the surface. You don't want to try cutting it or continuing to cut it when it is small like this, because your knife could fall off of it. So you're going to turn it like this, and you're going to cut sideways. So always try to keep the largest part of the surface on your cutting board for safety. We teach that because we know some of us have cut our fingers. We don't want that, right? All right, so we got our onions, we got our mushroom, and then the only other part I need is my garlic. Let's get the garlic press out. Pampered Chef garlic press. Gotta love it. It comes with its own little cleaning utensil piece. If you have lost your little cleaning, I call it my Barbie hairbrush, and you need a replacement part, you can add that to any of your orders. The way it works is you just literally stick it into the holes and clean it out. There is also a little scoop on this end. It's a little hook, and that means that when you have your skins in here, because you don't have to peel the skins off, you can just scoop the skin right out. Now, I have arthritis in my thumbs. So when I go to cut my garlic, I cut the hard part of the end of the garlic off before I use it. And the reason I do that is that's the hardest part to get through the garlic press. So you don't have to peel all the skin, but if you take just that end piece off, it's going to make it so much easier for you. And then you just open it up. You put your garlic in your hopper. You squeeze. I'm squeezing it on my mushrooms, and then you use the scraper to scrape off what's left. Oh, look at that. My skin already popped out. It just popped right out without me using the little piece. Now we're going to put the other 2. It's supposed to be 2 cloves of garlic, but I had like a 2.5. And you can't ever have too much garlic, in my opinion. So scrape it, and then you're going to open it up. Got a little bit of big garlic in here. And I'm going to pull the skin out. Okay, there's my little keeper. And we're going to grab a pair of the tongs. I'm going to use the large chef's tongs because these are on sale this month. They're 15% off. And we're going to just flip our chicken over. I'll bring it over so you guys can see it, so you can see the nice sear that it got on it. And that's the reason we do it. Now the tongs stay open like this until you hold them upright and you squeeze them closed, and they'll lock. When you hold them down and you push the button, the little pin up here goes in and then it opens up. So I've had some people ask about that. So this is going to cook for 1 more minute. Better set a timer. And then we're going to take it off and we're going to put it on a plate off to the side. Then we're going to saute all of these items here. And once these are sauteed for like 2 to 3 minutes, then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of chicken broth or white wine. But because I'm not doing wine this month, I'm doing chicken broth. And we're going to add some asparagus that I will cut up once I clear my cutting board off. Now, a tip for asparagus, if you're not familiar with asparagus, is when you get your asparagus from the store, so this is longer, you take your first piece and you bend it like this. And when you bend it, for me, it snapped right about here. So that's how you know that the woody part of the asparagus is the end. You want to throw that away because otherwise when you eat it, it's going to be chewy. And then you can just cut the whole rest of your bunch at that same amount. When you're storing it in the fridge, you want to make sure that the ends have been freshly cut off and you stick them in water. There we go. There's my one. Let me grab another plate. Alright, so now we're going to take the chicken off and I'll show you. Now keep in mind, the chicken is not fully cooked. It's going to finish in a 425 degree oven to finish the cooking. So, but look at the nice sear on that. Doesn't that look great? It is a delicious dish. This is it's one that I used to do for my live cooking shows back in the day when I used to go out and do live shows. I mean, I still do them, but nobody wants to do them anymore. They all want to do them online, which is fine. I'll just cook in my house and I will show you all how it goes. So we're going to go ahead, we add a little more olive oil to the pan. We are going to add our mushrooms and onions and garlic. And we're going to let this kind of just cook for, I'm going to set it for 3 minutes because when I talk and cook, sometimes disaster can happen and we don't want that. So we want to get that cooking, and then we'll deglaze the pan by using a 1/2 cup of the chicken broth. We're going to use a whole little pint of cherry tomatoes, and there's 2 ways you can do this. You can, if you want, use the cup slicer, just like we did the mushrooms, and you can do it the easy way and just slice right through here. And with the cap on, and you can see. Perfect slices, or you can just cut your tomatoes in half, however you'd like to do it. I'm lazy. I like to get dinner on the table fast, so I'll probably use the cup slicer. If my husband was cooking, he would stand here with the knife and the little tomato, and he would just cut them in half. But you know what? He's starting to not feel good. I think he's getting the flu that I just got over. That was my New Year's present. Woke up New Year's Day and started with a scratchy throat, and then it turned to a fever and coughing and congestion, and I was out for like 5 days. So I'm finally better, and I'm super excited. This year I'm doing a lot of new things I haven't done before. I'd love to hear if you guys are trying anything new. I am trying pickleball for the first time tomorrow. Super excited about that. And then tomorrow night, I have a rug braiding class that is going on. I started it back in the end of November, but then what happened was we had a Christmas party, and then it was Christmas, and then it was New Year's, because it's only every other week. And so it ended up that I haven't been in like 6 weeks. So, no, yeah, 6 weeks. So I'm working on a braided rug for our camp that we're going to eventually be building up in the White Mountains. And it's going to be a 9-foot by 12-foot. So I got all winter and all next year that I could be working on that. So I figured I'd better take a little class to learn how to do it correctly. And I should say a big shout out to Jen Craig. She was my banker. She's a good friend of mine. She's a hostess and a customer of mine. She came to my open house, and I was talking about having to hand sew the pieces of jeans, because my carpet's going to be made out of jeans, like what I'm wearing. And she lent me her sewing machine, and it is a lifesaver. I've never sewed before, but oh my gosh, that just is like, I can't even tell you how great that was. So I'm clearly going to have to invest in my own little sewing machine, but in the process, right now, I'm just working with hers because she's not needing it right now. Okay, so we got, this is deglazed. We're good to go. We are going to now add our chicken back in, our tomatoes, our asparagus, and we're going to stick it in the oven for about 15 minutes at 425, and then dinner will be ready. I also today, and I'll post some pictures, used, I cut up a bunch of butternut squash and potatoes and carrots, and I tossed some of it in our rosemary herb rub with olive oil, and some with the black pepper and garlic, and I tossed it in the oven, and I'm roasting a bunch of veggies, because when I'm doing Whole30, you get hungry and you don't want to grab one of those fast, easy snacks like a Triscuit or a Wheat Thin or some other kind of cracker or grain or cheese, the things that you normally grab, which has made me gain all this weight. So you have to have healthy food ready in the fridge so that when you're hungry, you can just microwave it or just eat it. So today I had a leftover stir fry, which was made up of sweet potato, peppers, onions, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and I had a couple eggs with it. I had an orange for snack today. And then I had leftover soup. I had a chicken soup for lunch. So far I've been doing pretty good. I've been eating healthy and trying to make good choices, and this is going to be another one of those great choices. Let me show you what it looks like before I put it in the oven, and then I will take a picture of it complete when we're done. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot the chicken broth. I need to do the chicken broth. I need to take the chicken off. Hold on. I need to do the chicken broth and let it simmer down before I add the chicken and put it in the oven. So this helps if you print out your recipe first. I joke. I'm pampered. I am not perfect. Okay, so I only have a half a cup left anyway. So we're going to put that in there. We're going to let that simmer down until half of it's gone. Then we're going to add the chicken and the rest of the ingredients. But look at how great this looks. Doesn't that look so pretty? It's vibrant and bright. So this is going to be a great meal. It's going to be healthy. It's going to be fresh. It's got all fresh ingredients, and it's filling and fiber. You get from your vegetables and your protein from your chicken. So, and remember, our goal this month is to eat the rainbow. So we got red, we have green, and then we have chicken. So we're working our way through that, and our mushrooms are white. So we're doing well. I'll take a picture. I'll post it in the comment section when it's done. I hope you guys have a great evening. Great to see you.